Welcome back, Gundam guys and Gundam gals. Patrick Grade here from GGInfiniteNews.com. This time bringing you part 2 of the review for the high-grade Gundam AGE-2 Normal. So today I was able to watch episode 16 of the Gundam Age anime, and I was hoping to see the Gundam AGE-2 Normal in action, but unfortunately I was only able to see a little bit in the beginning and ending credits, so no Gundam AGE-2 Normal in action yet. But for now we do have the excellent high-grade kit, so let's continue on with this review and look at the mobile suit all put together, as well as a transformation. So here we go. So as usual, peg either leg into the hip joint here. And this slides into place on the poly cap underneath the torso here. The chest unit plugs into the top here. Plug in either arm. And of course the head. And then we have the Gundam AGE-2 Normal almost all set up, without the wing binders on yet. So let's take a look at the articulation. The legs can come forward pretty far, backwards quite a ways as well, and with the moving back skirt here, it is able to get out of the way. The torso, if you want to, can go 360. Same with the shoulders, and then come across the chest pretty far. And the head is not hindered by much either, so it can go 360 as well. So all in all, very nice articulation. And the kit feels really solid too. It's not quite as light and flimsy feeling as some of the high grades from the early 00 series. So all in all, I think this is a really excellent kit. Everything stays in place very well, nothing falling off, especially on the torso. And it looks great. All the colors are nicely represented. So everything is pretty top-notch on this high-grade kit so far. So let's go ahead and combine the wings and the weapons and see how that looks. And as you can see, having the wings on the side here add quite a bit to the silhouette of the mobile suits from the front and from the side. The only thing I'm a little disappointed with is that the ABS plastic on the ABS plastic here for the wings is a little slippery, so they don't stay in place quite well enough sometimes if you point them outwards like that. So the plastic on plastic doesn't provide a lot of friction for these things to stay in place, so you might want to put a little super glue or something inside there just to give it some extra teeth to grab onto. So when we put the AGE-2 Normal up on its included action stand, we get some nice aerial poses available to us. And here's my best attempt at pulling off one of the poses on the side of the box. As you can see, the joints are all really strong. Everything holds in place really well. And one thing you might notice is that the visual presence of the Gundam AGE-2 is quite significant with the wings off the edges here. That's pretty cool, having such an imposing figure out of a smaller kit. But the side wings definitely do add to the visual presence of the Gundam AGE-2 Normal. Looks good from the side as well. Although the wings can be a little odd at sometimes, especially on the shoulders. I wish the lower shoulders would rotate independently of these guys, so these can stay flat and the arms still come up. But that might be a little too mechanically difficult to pull off on a high-grade kit. Maybe on the master grade we'll get some independent swivel there in the upper shoulder. But overall, a real nice representation of a yet-to-be-seen Gundam AGE-2 Normal in the anime, so I really like this design. So let's go take a look at it in the transformed mode as well, and see how that looks. Alright, so to transform it, you have to break it down into some of its major components. Remove either arm completely, detach the legs from the torso, remove the hip joint in between the two legs, and then grab your replacement hip joint here from either the back of the stand or wherever you have it stored. And you're going to have it facing this way, where the pegs are facing more up than down. Attach either leg to it, reverse the knee joint there, bend up the toes. So with the midsection here, pull down the torso, rotate it back, and the pegs on the back skirts here peg into place on the backpack and these notches. So to secure that in place, peg both those in there that way. So from the side you'll see it looking kind of like this. Bring the wing assembly on either side skirt forward, and now you can push the head down just a little bit to where it's kind of facing downwards that way. Alright, so to transform the Dodds rifle into the nose cone, first thing you want to do is pull out this little piece here, flip it around, and reinsert it. And this way it allows you to push it all the way down the side, allowing you to flip the handle up that way. This becomes a peg into the chest, and then collapse the blue piece down here. And that's pretty much it. And then on the center of the chest, you can kind of see the little cavity there in the bottom center. Just plug that in like that. Make sure the head's facing kind of downwards. And there is the center fuselage of the Strider form. So the manual shows that you want to flip up the little side flap here on either shoulder. Rotate the shoulder down. And make sure that the cuff here, the notch, is facing the same way as the upper wrist. So have the notch for the shield on the outside this way. And when you flip this around, you'll see that there's now a hole here, but the poly cap is still facing off to the side. And that's how you want to attach the arms back onto the middle body. So that's the overall goal there, having the gray sticker poking out the front, the poly cap swiveled inside to attach to the peg on the shoulders, and the elbows facing up here with the shield notch on the outside of the arm. And with the legs slotted into place on the back there, you can kind of tuck the hands into this little area here behind the knees. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse the angle of the action base arm here, and then use the outward facing peg, plug it back into place on the torso there. The last thing to do is just to reattach the wings. So with the wings attached, you can lower down the wings on the side skirts to create a little effect of having some stabilizers there. And then get the wings in the proper position where you like it the best. So it's a little frustrating trying to get all the wings lined up symmetrically. But with a little effort, you get everything in place kind of correctly. And that way you get a really nice looking spaceship there. It's very reminiscent of Star Fox or the X-Wing with the long thin wings coming off the four edges there. They do a good job of, trying to hide the head, or at least a little bit. The gun makes an effective nose cone there. The legs actually look tucked away pretty well and not so obvious that they're legs. And I like how the shield covers up the hands on at least one side. It would have been nice to have it on both sides. But all in all, I think the Strider form looks really nice. And it's pretty unique when compared to the other lead Gundam suits like the Zeta and the Delta Plus and stuff. And for a high-grade transforming suit, there's only really one piece you have to swap out. When compared to like the high-grade you see Delta Plus and the Rozelles, you have to swap out 3 or 4 pretty significant pieces there. So those are way more parts formers than this guy. And you can even keep the extra pieces tucked away on the action base there. So a very, very nice transformation overall. I really like the design myself of the Strider form. It's a little finicky getting these wings in place, but other than that, it's not too difficult. And I think Bandai did a good job of pulling off a transforming high-grade mobile suit. Excellent job. Alright, so as the AGE-2 Normal spins around here on its action base and with the beam sabers in hand, you can see that I have the dodds rifle clipped into place on the back skirt, as well as having the extra pieces attached to the action base, so everything's nicely accounted for and stored away, which is something I really appreciate when it comes to model kits from Bandai. So moving on to the AGE-2 Normal, the design and the functionality of the high grade kit. This is one of my favorite high grade kits in a long time, especially in the AGE series. While I do like the AGE-1 Normal and the Titus and the GXs, this is clearly the best high grade kit in that line so far. The only thing I really have complaints with are the wings, just because they don't stay in place very well and they're kind of hard to line up all four at the same time. I wish there were some sort of like positioning notches so you know that each of them are in the similar spot on either side. And I wish that the attaching joints had a little more grip to them so they would hang on to the pegs better and not swivel around so easily, like you see this one does here. Some of them don't do that, but a couple of them do, so I don't know if they got loosened up somehow or they're just not enough to grab onto there. But overall, I really like the design of the AGE-2 Normal. It's very reminiscent of the progression between the RX-78-2 and the Zeta Gundam. You can definitely see some influences and design philosophies shared between the two. And I think as a high grade kit, it's excellent too. It's the included stand, the ability to tuck away parts on the stand, the way the transformation works. There's only one world piece you have to swap out, and that's the hip joints there. When compared to like the HGUC series, the Delta Plus and the Zeta 2 and a couple other Transformer Gundams, there are quite a bit of things you got to swap out and put it back and keep safe, or otherwise you can't go back and forth between the two modes. So definitely a well thought out and well executed transformation for a high grade kit. And this is actually a kit that I would buy two of, just to have it one in mobile suit and have the other in the mobile armor mode, like I did with the Delta Plus and the Roselle. I have two of each of those kits because I enjoy both forms so much. So definitely a nice design overall to this kit, and it definitely shows the evolution of the suits in the Gundam Age anime, as well as Bandai's commitment to quality in the high grade kits. So this is a good milestone for both the series and the high grade kits overall. So if you like the design, if you like the anime, if you like high grade kits, there's a lot of good reasons to get this kit, at least one of them. But of course, if you don't like either the anime or the mobile suit design, it might be hard to justify paying the 20 bucks or so to get this kit. So either way, I would highly recommend it if you're a fan of the series. It's a really excellent kit, very solid. Just a couple issues with the wings, but nothing major overall. Everything holds in place really well. Oh, and I wish they would have included two shields just for the transform mode, to have both arms kind of hidden a little bit more behind the shield when it's transformed. So thanks a lot for watching the review. Hope I did a pretty good job for you guys. Let me know what you think of the video with your comment down below. Like if you do, don't if you don't, to borrow a line from Robert. And please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all you guys who have subscribed so far. I'm getting close to the 500 mark, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I plan to do a couple figure reviews up next. I have the Wild Tiger and the Barnaby Brooks Jr. SH Figure Arts figures to look at, as well as the SH Monster Arts Godzilla. So stay tuned for those in the upcoming week or so. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.